The 4th annual Travis Griner Memorial Tractor Ride is Saturday, June 29th. Sign up begins at 6:30 a.m. behind Griner Crop Service, east of Keota Water Tower. Free will donation. Includes lunch and snacks along the ride. Proceeds to area 4-H and FFA fairs. The ride leaves Keota at 7:45 and will be a 60-mile round trip. Sponsored by Southeast Iowa Tractor Association Incorporated. It's the 4th annual Travis Griner Memorial Tractor Ride, Saturday, June 29th. And if you don't have a tractor, come and watch along the route. The Keokuk County Expo Fair Kickoff Barbecue Cook-Off is Saturday, July 13th. $100 per team, up to 4. Deadline to sign up is Friday, June 28th. Cash payout is $350 to first place per category. Meal for the public starts at 5:30 with a free will offering. Be sure to sign up by the entry deadline, June 28th. Stop at the Keokuk County Extension Office to pick up a packet. Proceeds to support the Keokuk County Expo. Sponsored by Keokuk County Farm Bureau. Contemporary Christian artist Leanna Crawford is coming to the Watch Year Opera House in Watch Year, Iowa, Saturday, June 29th at 7 p.m. Doors open up at 6 p.m. Advance tickets are $15 plus tax, $20 at the door.
Hey, it's Leanna Crawford, and I am so cheery to be coming to What Cheer, Iowa. It's going to be such a sweet night of music and praising Jesus together, and I cannot wait to see you there.
All proceeds to support the Tri-County Food Pantry. Brought to you by the Watch Year Methodist Church. Ticket information can be found on the Watch Year Methodist Church Facebook page.
At 6 o'clock, let's open up the council meeting today, Wednesday, June 19th. Angie, can I have a roll call, please?
Oostbaker.
Here.
Lenz.
Here.
Schultz.
Present.
Clark.
Here.
Conrad.
Present.
McLaughlin.
Present.
Yes. I got you.
I knew I was next.
Approval or amendment of tentative agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the tentative agenda.
Second.
Oostbaker.
Yes.
Lenz.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
The consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a request is made prior to voting.
Can I look at K and ask for the community betterment projects? There wasn't an invoice with the trees. What is that?
Donnie.
Which,
No.
It's
The
the
trees.
community betterment. It just says trees for 5,000.
We've got 2 other trees that need to come down. One was from a storm that's still standing, and then we had one that was dead out in the southwest part of town. I've got invoices if you want to see them, but it doesn't cost near that much. That's just a number Angie threw up there.
Who are you using that?
I don't know. I'm getting bids from both the guys now.
Okay. That's all I needed to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one, and it's a minor one, but I'm trying to find the appropriate file. There's just so when we say windows and shelves, are we talking about the concession stand or something like that?
Yes.
On the credit card charges?
Yes. Yes, it's for the new concession stand out the Sport Park on North Main.
That's what I thought. Okay. Thank you.
We approve B separately.
You want to approve these separately?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any other questions or requests on the consent agenda? If not, can I have a motion motion to approve the consent agenda with all the items A through L except B.
I would make that motion.
Second.
Baker.
Yes.
Lentz.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, under the consent agenda, item B, approval of council accounts payable claims.
Just has Atwood Electric on it, so, you know what I'm saying?
Did you have a question on that?
It just had Atwood Electric on it, so I'm going to abstain.
Oh, okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, can I have a motion to approve item B?
I move that we approve item B of the consent agenda.
Second.
Baker.
Yes.
Lentz.
Abstain.
Schultz.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Public hearings, I have nothing listed. Additional city business, discussion and possible decision regarding disposition of dog owned by Austin Adam at 814 Ringgold Street as a result of a dog encounter. Who wants to start?
Doug, why don't you tell us what you found?
Oh, I come in, it was on June 3rd, it was a Monday, and I had a message to call, just coming off my letter, Judy Frank. So I called her back. Her husband, Wayne, was bitten by a dog on his arm while out riding his bicycle. One of them bicycles laid down, you sit in, recumbent on East Ringgold. So he was treated at the emergency room. Sheriff's deputy investigated it, Will Dolan. And they sent me pictures of his arm, a written statement on what occurred, and a report from the sheriff's office. So, and you guys got all that. So,
Yes. Pretty ugly bite.
and this is Austin and Paige, the owners of the dog.
Right. In the past, when we've had a dog that has become vicious like this, we have the dog removed from the city. And I don't know, Connie, do you want to comment on this?
I guess, do you guys have anything that you would like to address with the council? Has the dog ever bitten anybody before? Can you talk to us about the dog?
Yeah, absolutely. He's never shown any aggression to anyone. He's interacted with almost all of our neighbors on our street. Mail carrier regularly. He's never shown any aggression. Very friendly. She pets him when she delivers our mail. When the Atwoods were still living in their tiny home just down the street, their son would come and play with the dog all the time. This is something that he's never exhibited before. There's no, something must have provoked him, or he must have been fighting for some reason. I'm not for sure, but he's never bitten anyone. He's a very friendly dog, family dog, interacts with our 3-month-old son very regularly. This is very out of character. This is something that he's never exhibited before. He's a very friendly dog.
Did you witness the attack?
I did not.
Okay. Does he object to kids on bicycles or anybody on bicycles? Or
Not that I
somebody
clearly
running
do.
past him or anything?
Not that I've been aware of.
Why was he running loose?
He had a shock collar on. I was actually outside cleaning my mower. He wasn't running loose. He was with me, and then he went out of my sight. And as I turned around, he was coming back because I had toned him to come back to my side with his train collar.
So it's not like a line that he crosses, it's something that you just activate?
We have both. We have one line that he crosses that he's on most of the time, but when I'm mowing, typically I just have him on a train collar that I activate, yes. But I should also say for the council that 90% of the time they're in their kennels in the back part of our property. They don't just run free.
Unless they're home.
And, yeah, unless we are home with them outside.
How many dogs do you have? Two. Okay, and this is a Labrador?
Correct. Okay, chocolate Labrador, yeah.
Council, we're here to discuss and have a possible decision.
Well, we do have an ordinance. We have an ordinance in place that has been in place for several years.
So this situation would be, this would be a violation of ordinance 4-1-9, keeping a vicious animal. And that code says it shall be unlawful for any person or persons to harbor or keep a vicious animal within the city. A vicious animal is deemed so when it shall have attacked or bitten any person without provocation. And I think that's what this is right now. It's a very unfortunate situation. I know it's a tough situation for your family, but at the same time, it's a pretty substantial bite, and just from somebody riding on a bicycle. And I think we said before, historically, any animal that does bite and cause injury like this, it has been on, the council has, voted to have that animal removed. So I know it is a tough decision, but I think we probably should continue to do what historically we have done in the past. So it would.
Feel that same way. I think we need to be consistent with enforcing the ordinances that we have in place.
It'd be different if the dog didn't actually bite somebody. But unfortunately in this situation, it's a pretty substantial bite. So I would make the motion that we request the Adams to remove the dog from city limits, give them a time period of 14 days from the date of today, and then also within the 14 days, provide to the city the location as to where the dog went. That way we just know that it is out of town.
Second.
Location and contact information. So that
Location and contact information.
Yeah, so we can make contact with them. I'm sorry.
Host Baker,
Yes.
Lance,
They not answer?
No. Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
thank you.
And I'm sorry, I have two big dogs myself, and it's our ordinance.
Just as a question, we were never shown, when the deputy showed up, he said it was just a minor nip, so I guess I was never shown.
Oh, no, it's a nasty.
Do you have a colored copy of the bike?
But it looked like it was about, it tore the flesh off the back of his arm to be about 4 inches long.
Thank you.
Is there any?
Well, we appreciate you showing up.
Yeah,
This is like the least favorite subject for the council, and if there's any grace in the matter is that we don't require the dog to be put down, just to be removed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you. Moving on, item number 2, discussion of possible approval of changing the July 3rd, 2024 council meeting date. We had a suggestion to change it to the 2nd on Tuesday. Discussion
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
on the 2nd. On the 2nd.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm okay.
discussion is passed, or I guess there's still going to be discussion, to move the July 3rd regular council meeting to July 2nd. Pardon?
6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m., yeah, we'll stick with the same time.
I'd second.
Louis Baker,
Yes.
Lance,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Discussion possible approval of subordination agreement placing White State Bank as a priority lien on property located at 103 South Jefferson Street.
We discussed this at the last meeting, didn't we not?
We did.
So basically, it's saying that, yeah, that you default on the city doesn't.
No, it's saying that if Larry defaults and the state comes on back for their grant money back, we would of course send that on to Larry, but it's stating that the bank would get their money first. They sold the building or whatever, they would get the money there, loaning Larry for his share first, and then he would get ours.
I kind of lost track of the timeline on this. I mean, this is coming in as an after fact, right? And I'm not trying to throw a wrench in it, but I think transparency is a good thing in matters such as this. It's complete, right?
Yes, and we've been discussing this for probably about a year on what to do with this and how to handle it. I have been discussing it with the bank,
Okay.
and so I finally just said, you know what, I talked to the state, I talked to our Area 15 who administered the grant, and I said, well, it's up to the council, if they're willing to do it, you guys can certainly do that, because I didn't even know if we could. But yes, so the state, you know, they're fine with it, so we just had to work out the details with Larry and
Is this
The bank.
a new loan or what?
this grant, this is the first time we've ever had an upper story grant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
and-
but
and,
I guess it just seems like it's a cart and horse deal here, and it's kind of.
It is, they had their, we have a letter from the bank stating that yes, they would loan him the money.
Okay.
But there was the little clause in there that they needed to be first on the loan, and the state automatically puts the city as first on the loan, or the mortgage. And so, it was just a matter of getting that switched, but I needed you guys to be on board with it before we went to the expense, and it's not our expense. The bank and Larry will work that out.
It's already rented, isn't it?
Oh, yes, he's jumped through all the hoops and he had a lot to jump through. But yes, he does have it rented.
Can I ask a question? Is it rented to relatives?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Somebody from, I can't remember where she's from.
All right, thanks.
She has a business here now.
Yeah, she has a business here in town.
Like I said, I'm not trying to throw a wrench in it, but I just wanted a few more details.
Yep. Anything you want to know, yes.
This isn't costing the city anything, correct?
No, I made that clear. So, no, it won't cost us anything.
So I would move that we approve the subordination agreement placing the White State Bank as the primary lien on the property located at 103 South Jefferson.
Second.
Louis Baker,
Yes.
Lance,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, discussion and possible approval of running reminders through Steve Shetler Media. Angie?
I had an email request. Ordinances are hard to get your hand to, I should say. Ordinances, it's not something you think about when you do certain things like your dog running at large or your dog leaving his business and somebody, you know, up on the square or something. So we were trying to figure out a way because we put ads in the newspaper, but people are gonna gloss over them. We could put them out on our Facebook, but people, every time they see something like, oh, I've already read that one, even if it's a different one. So I talked with Steve about because he is willing to do, I could easily come up with 30, 40, 50 different things that we could throw out there as far as reminders, you know, just telling people, hey, remember garbages on Wednesdays, have it out by 7 a.m. You have to buy the city, all sorts of things we could throw reminders, and Steve would voice them, and then intermittently put about 10 a week, and he would charge us $100 a month to do that. I thought maybe people hearing them while they're driving or whatever might help, or at least generate questions to us that, okay, what's this about? So if we could try that for 2 or 3, 4 months, maybe 6 months, I don't know, to see.
This was me that brought it up because we go on a 2-block walk and have had 8 dogs run up to our leash dogs. So this sounds like it's at you guys, and I promise it's not. This was like a month ago that I brought this up. It just was weird timing for the date. Because they got an altercation, just a verbal, and the lady was like, we're in our yard, we're fine. She didn't know that it's supposed to be leashed, and it doesn't matter that it's in your own yard. So I recommended sending them a letter, but apparently that's probably a better idea, but I don't know that everybody would see it, but.
Well, we kind of ran with it and threw all sorts of things in there we could remind, like I said, the garbage pickup. I mean, there's tons of things we could remind people of that happen frequently. So.
It's an interesting idea, I think, because if we do it as a trial, and you're saying, what would be the frequency?
Like 10 a week for $100, you know, for $100 a month.
And we're basically talking like 30-second, it'd be audio and visual. It'd be like a TV commercial. There'd be a visual, I'd be doing the voiceover. So you'd be seeing it and hearing it. And Angie and I discussed it'd be on various, like I do about 40 videos a week. So I would it'd be hit and miss. You'd be hitting different people at different times, spread them out each week at different times, and hopefully hit most everybody.
How would we pay for that?
I would assume that we could pay for it out of the budget with the, like pay the newspaper for advertising, so to speak.
Steve,
That's acceptable.
do you know, can you tell like how many Sigourney residents view your page, or do you have that capability?
I could email that to you. I mean, I can tell you that as far as viewership goes and people that are engaged in my stuff, Oskaloosa is number 1 and Sigourney's number 2. And I'm hitting a couple, I think in the last 28 days, my Facebook reach, without going into too many boring details, hit over 250,000 people. So I'm definitely hitting Sigourney and the surrounding area. Obviously, Sigourney's one of the mainstays.
That's pretty good penetration.
Yeah.
I like the idea as a trial and limit. Well, so here's the question. How do we know if it's working?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering, how do you evaluate? I mean,
Yeah.
trial runs are great.
That's kind of the question for all advertising. How do you know that it's working? Just gotta put it out there.
Well, so the question becomes, in 90 days, would you be able to tell? In 120 days, would you be able to tell? I like the notion that its effectiveness, I think we would need to kind of think
So
about.
that's not a leash law though.
It's not, but it can't be that long. I was told you had to have your dogs on. That large, under your control.
By definition.
Restrained within a motor vehicle house. I'm not reading that.
We're past that.
This is the same ordinance we are currently talking about, sending a letter to people or letting them know that it's there. Because there are people that move to this town and they don't know that that is an ordinance. They don't know they need to have their lawn mowed under now 6 inches. This is an ordinance that happens to be in front of us that I am concerned about. Also with that, but it wasn't even, that isn't a. Do whatever, I don't care.
I'm all in favor of doing it, but I want to be able to evaluate it, and I haven't figured that out.
I haven't figured that out either, and I think it's important Now, there is the factor of repetition, right? You use the example of have your garbage out by 7 o'clock on whatever, of course, it varies by day, right? By 7 o'clock on your day.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got other examples of things that would bear repeating.
Right.
You said you came up easily with what?
I came up at least between 35 and 40 when I was just going off the top of my head.
So you're talking like, not hitting this entire chapter, but like hitting
Hidden things.
different sections in a chapter.
That seem to
in
be a
a 30-second
problem.
time frame.
Exactly.
That's a lot of verbiage.
Well, no, we would do like the at-large is one piece, cleaning up after your animal is the second different piece, so that it, we're not overrunning it. We get
Yeah, I would think
one
you're
item
talking,
established.
I would think you're talking about one-liners, or maybe a really short paragraph.
Yeah, you don't want to try to jam too much in.
Yeah,
I think it's always good trying to get information out to the public, so I'm in favor of it.
I'm in favor of outflow also.
How long would you want to run the trial for?
Well, the trial part's the sticky part, because I don't know how to tell.
Let's try for 6 months and see, we think it's had some positive impact.
And let's monitor, can we monitor queries?
Mhm.
In a community?
I mean, we can, if people start calling us or whatever, saying, hey, what's this about, or whatever, then, yeah.
Monitor queries and determine whether or not your inquiries or your complaints on these items that let's see if they improve.
Okay.
And if they improve even marginally, then maybe it's worth it.
And who selects the items here?
I just made a list.
Oh, you've got a list.
I've got a list.
Oh, okay.
Of things that I
That's already
thought,
done.
but if anybody come up with something, I'm more than happy to entertain it. I was just gonna do a bunch and then Steve could figure out when to break them in. He could figure out what to put where.
Yeah, right. Well, you're on the front line, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's,
I would be in favor of trying it for 6 months.
okay.
I guess I would make that motion.
Second.
For how long?
6 months.
6 months.
Oostbaker,
Yes.
Lenz, Schultz,
Yes.
Conrad, excuse me, sorry, McLaughlin.
Yes.
Did I skip Clark? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Whoever we are.
Yeah, whoever you guys are, just say yes or no.
Next item, Keokuk County Economic Development Report. Gary, will you tell us?
So things are going well with the farmer's market. The car show is scheduled for the 20th of July. We're well ahead of the planning curve. We've got most of our sponsors identified. I think there's only one slot left. Enrollment in the show is, the preponderance of it is day of, so that's pretty typical. So that's going along well. The website development is going along well. Humphrey Wongi is doing what I think is an outstanding job. I expect to be able to turn it up in the next week or two. And everyone that has reviewed it, the board's reviewed it, several other people looked at it, have been universally impressed and in favor of the way it presents and the content that it shares. So the idea is that it would become a portal into the county. We've identified 328 businesses in the county that will be listed, and a host of other items that will be included. And we'll have certain advantages for members and member businesses to be featured on the website. We'll also share information about events, upcoming events, activities that are taking place. So I think it's going to work out well, and we're going to unveil it here very soon. So that's all I have for this week.
Okay, thank you. Park and Recreation, we need to set a Park and Recreation Committee meeting.
So HR meets at 6 on Tuesday, period, Park and Rec meet at 5. Was there any time that isn't work? Is she gonna be there?
And no, Donnie.
So is 5?
Tuesday the what?
25th, I think.
So you're talking about this coming Tuesday?
If it works for everyone, since
I'm good with it.
Stephanie, you're good with that? Adam,
Sure.
Dawn, are you good with that? Okay. Tuesday the 25th at 5.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Street sanitation, I have nothing on the list. Water and wastewater, nothing. Public safety, nothing. Finance, discussion of possible approval of resolution number 2024-06-20, authorizing the transfer of funds and payments of general obligation funds and revenue bonds for fiscal year 2025.
This resolution and the next one are both resolutions that, this is in the spirit of transparency. These are this lists out the funds I transfer to pay our notes, our revenue bonds, and our general obligation bonds. So this lists each one out, what the borrowed amount is, what the payments are gonna be, the principal, the interest, and the service fee that we pay for each one of these bonds that we have. So we have 2 water bonds, 1 sewer bond, those are all 3 revenue bonds, and then we have 3 GO bonds or general obligation bonds that we have to pay. So in essence, it's $752,000, and so this is almost $753,000 total. So this is telling you that I'm taking X amount of, or I'm gonna take $80,280 out of water, split that up by 12 months, out of the water fund and put it in the water sinking fund is where we pay debt from. And there's the sewer number there, and there's the debt service number.
Any questions? Comments?
So I move that we approve resolution number 2024-06-20, authorizing the transfer of funds and payments of the general obligation bonds and revenue bonds for fiscal year 2025.
Baker,
Yes.
Lentz, Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Laughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, discussion of possible approval of resolution number 2024-06-21, authorizing the transfer of funds for fiscal year 2025.
Basically, this is the same thing, only it's more the in-house. These are in the budget, what we agreed to over a 12-month period transfer $8,333.33 every month to the library, so it equals $100,000. And then the other was, we started last year moving $9,000 from the general fund from the park to road use and sanitation, since they took back over mowing everything. 9,000 was roughly what we would pay somebody during the summer to mow, give a little, take a little, depend on how many times they had to mow or how dry it was. So that's just authorizing those in what I call an in-house transfer to other funds. So
Motion to approve resolution 2024-06-21, authorizing transfer of funds for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Lentz,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Laughlin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Human Resources, I have nothing. City Clerk, nothing. Public input. Any input from the public? If not, council, any input? If not, I entertain a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Lentz, Schultz,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
McLaughlin.